This is a very difficult topic. I was thinking about it and it's just like, it's so hard to explain. Like, as soon as you start talking about it, your eyes just glaze over. So, just talking about the unconscious mind, when I say unconscious mind, or subconscious mind, all of a sudden it's just, again, it's this kind of mystery that just kind of is activated and you start drifting off into nowhere. And then talking about hypnosis is hypnotic. I say hypnosis, and it's just like immediately it starts firing up certain neurons. And one of the things I was going to say was just about like, what is hypnosis? Trying to articulate it, trying to find words for it. I was saying that, hypnosis is harnessing the power of the unconscious mind. All hypnotic phenomena are things that would happen naturally or accidentally in a particular context. An example I thought of was the Stephen Covey story in the 7 Habits of Highly Effective People. In the bus, the paradigm shifts. Like a paradigm shift is where your unconscious mind just shifts everything in a moment. Father and the son hop onto a bus. The father sits down. He's just completely aloof to the world. You're staring out the window, and then the kids are running amok, running up and down, like hitting people and carrying on. And then everyone's getting pissed off. And then this, Covey's sitting there and he's seeing this guy not reacting and just not caring. Getting pissed off, everyone's getting pissed off. Controlling yourself in that moment, it's hard to not just tell him off and go nuts, because you're fighting it. You're fighting this, this idea that you have and these feelings that you have. If you're going to try and fight that, it's difficult. So he goes to the father and he says, he's like, can you please control your kids? And then he goes, oh look, sorry, we've just come back from the hospital and their mother's just died, and I don't think they know how to deal with it, and neither do I. And in that moment, everything shifts. Like, there's no need to fight yourself anymore. There's like immediately it goes from anger to, compassion and just a cascade of other emotions of wanting to reach out and help him. And so there's no difficulty there. You don't have to struggle with it and fight with it. It's just everything changed. That, like a paradigm shift, is something that you didn't consciously create. It was just the circumstances just triggered it and created this whole cascade of things. So hypnosis is about facilitating those circumstances in that therapeutic context. A good hypnotic facilitator understands what are the psychological circumstances that created that shift, and then kind of manufacturing them. How do you create unconscious shifts? Triggering the unconscious mind to create paradigm shifts and to do these things. And that's harnessing the power. That is the power is the power of the unconscious mind. When you think about something like placebo, that's an unconscious triggering. Like when someone has a belief, has a deeply rooted unconscious belief in this thing, or even just a positive expectation around this tablet is going to do this thing, and then all of a sudden their unconscious mind starts creating healing. Like, whoa, that's a crazy thing to do. That is the power of the unconscious mind. That is a power of the unconscious mind to start healing the body. Hypnosis is the act of utilizing the nervous system, in deliberate ways, triggering the nervous system to create experience and deeper realizations and paradigm shifts. The way that you set the context, the way that you use the words and create the experience, it triggers the nervous system to facilitate change. If it can create a paradigm shift, then the paradigm shift can lead to change. The change doesn't happen during the hypnosis or during the trance. The change doesn't happen in a therapy session. Some emotional shift takes place, but then the change happens out in the person's life, and they maintain that change or they don't. We're always changing, like, for better or for worse, with every decision we make and every day. Whether we're maintaining what we want to maintain in our lives or we're maintaining what we don't want. A change is only realized through someone's consistent action. So, it's not just like, oh, hypnosis made the change. Like, it was the first trigger that helped, the dominoes fall in the right direction. Behaviors are maintained, and hard to get out of because of the patterns that have been established in our lives. That's what habits are, patterns. If you've looked into habits at all, that's the trigger, the reaction, and the reward. And the trigger a lot of the time is just like a thought. I'd like to eat something, and then you go and eat it, and then you get the reward. So like there are these little micro patterns that just play out all day long, and you can kind of be stuck in that, and that's obviously all that is unconscious. You don't consciously seek out the trigger; it just kind of happens, and then you kind of just feel sort of on autopilot. If you've got an autopilot running that is not the way you want it to be, that's the problem, I guess. And then that's what you're trying to get out of. Hypnosis can break up that autopilot, and then begin to set up a new one. But It's not set in stone after that. It's now the beginnings of of it, and then as you start to live out that pattern, it becomes stronger and stronger. There.
Are you for real?
So I'm here every week with new insights on how to improve your health, your life, your weight, information and insight you will not get anywhere. So subscribe, hit the notification bell, and I'll see you next week.